We begin with breaking news from Gaza, where Israeli attacks have killed at least 30 Palestinians who were waiting for food in southern Gaza. Another 180 were injured. It happened near the only remaining food distribution point in the Strip, run by the notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. The organization is backed by the U.S. and Israel. And as famine spreads through the Strip, the GHF's operations are forcing Palestinians to travel south if they want to get food, creating a bottleneck and dangerous conditions. Earlier this week, the UN Human Rights Office said that since May, more than 800 Palestinians had been killed by Israeli forces and American security contractors at GHF sites. Saturday's attacks happened in the area where Israel is planning to create a concentration zone, forcibly transferring Gaza's entire population to the south of the Strip. Palestinians say the violence is part of a wider campaign of ethnic cleansing. A Gaza Humanitarian Foundation site in central Gaza near the Netzarim corridor was closed last month. Then, on Wednesday, GHF closed its food distribution hub in Khan Younis. The group says it's been shut for maintenance and renovations. That leaves only one site open in Rafah to hand out food for more than 2 million people. Let's go to Hani Mahmoud, joining us now from Gaza City to give us an update on the situation and these latest reports that 30 people have now been killed in the latest Israeli attack at the food site.
And that's the number of people who were managed to be transferred from the sites of the GHF in the northern western part of Rafah city. The fear now, there were many people who were on the ground, people and paramedics and volunteers who picked up the bodies were not able to reach some of the other bodies who remained in there. And this is the exact routine of every attack, the aftermath of ongoing indiscriminate shooting at hungry Palestinians at these centers. Many of the bodies are left and were not picked up until a week or 2 weeks later of the time they were shot, already deceased, largely decomposed from the air. So 30 people, that's what we registered at the hospital, in the field hospital in western part of Al-Mawasi near the Kuwaiti hospital and Nasser Medical Complex. 180 people were reported with critical injuries, and those injuries, according to medical staff inside the hospital, inside Nasser Medical Complex, very consistent, either in the lower part of the back, at the back, neck, or the abdominal area. Very deadly shot, leaving people to bleed severely. So many of them are not making it. With the acute shortage of medical supplies in hospitals that are overwhelmed with large number of injuries from past attacks, the likelihood of these people to survive or to be treated properly are very, very slim now. So we are expecting the number to keep increasing in the coming days as many of these injuries do not find the treatment they can. Once again, we're looking at the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, once again making headlines, not because it's effective in delivering aid, but because it's becoming a flashpoint of chaos, fear, and mass casualties. And what just happened is one more proof that it has turned into a death trap.
So, Hani, Palestinians really facing a pretty impossible choice, right? Either starve to death or then head to these notorious sites that are described by many as death traps and risk being shot at and killed.
Absolutely. And from day one of this genocide, many Israeli officials made that clear. They went publicly bragging about the long-term strategy and a plan, making large parts of the Gaza Strip unlivable, uninhabitable, does not support any livelihood, destroying all means of life in order to drive people into areas that are going to be controlled by the Israeli military, nothing short of concentration camp. The entire Gaza Strip for the past 2-3 years been described as the largest open-air prison. Some observers went on to describe it as a concentration camp. When you have a military, heavily armed military, controlling all the borders, all the crossing points, caging in entire population, does not allow them to travel freely, dictate what they eat, whether food or what other basic necessity they are getting, dictate when are they leaving, where they're coming back. That's a definition of a concentration camp. And it's happening now. Thousands of people now are left with no other options but to make these dangerous trips to Rafah, walking from the northern part of the strip, long distance, 15 kilometers of coming from further northern of the strip. They walk about 20 kilometers on foot, very exhausting at this weather. They pass by dead bodies, they pass by bombed out buildings, they end up sleeping overnight in many of these buildings. They are collapsing only to get food. And when they get there, they're shot at and they are killed.
Hani Mahmoud reporting from Gaza City. Thank you so much for that update, Hani.